A very good morning to all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen at this auspicious occasion of the launch of the movement for good to end female genital mutilation in Nigeria. Before we commence this program, we'll quickly do some housekeeping and do some introductions. Please, we have been advised that if you want to step out, please hold your bags. Do not leave any of your valuables on the chairs or on the tables. Keep them in your possession. The Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, the lady who's been making a change and changing the narratives in the lives of women and children in Nigeria, a lady who has seen it all from being a councillor to being a chairman of a local government to being commissioner 2 times, first female deputy governor elected in northern Nigeria, a 2-time minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dame Pauline Tallen, K. Tallen, OFR, KSG, the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs. Can we all appreciate this great Amazon? Supporting her this morning is the #1 he for she of the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Engineer Olufunsho Adebiyi, Fellow of the Nigerian Societies of Engineers. He's also taking the crusade to a different level. We have also from the different agencies here, from the international community and from the development community, from the women's groups, and from the traditional and religious organizations here this morning. We also have a host of ambassadors also joining us this morning. And to anchor this program with me this morning is my brother, Dr. Godwin Chinedu Odo. He'll be helping with the introductions before we go into the main program. My name is Princess Jumai Donije, Special Assistant Technical to the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs. Godwin, you have.
Thank you very much, Princess Jumai. Is it coincidentally that you are a princess and I have been a prince and now I'm a regent? I don't know, but I think it's all in the spirit of movement for good. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellencies, the Honorable Ministers, you're welcome to this epoch-making event. Let me use this opportunity to recognize in our midst Mr. Matthias Schmale, the UN resident and humanitarian coordinator in Nigeria. Can we put our hands together for him, please? Beside him is the indefatigable country representative for UNICEF Nigeria, Mr. Peter Hawkins. You're all welcome.
We have in our midst Her Excellency Emmanuel Blackman, Ambassador of France in Nigeria. Soyez les bienvenus, Madame. We also have with us Catriona Len Sidi, the High Commissioner Permanent Representative to ECOWAS, British High Commission here in Abuja. You're welcome, ma'am. We also have Juan Hel, Ambassador of Spain in Nigeria. You're welcome, Your Excellency. From the traditional community where we are all coming from, we have His Royal Majesty Gabriel Ayodele Adejunwo, the Onishon of Ishon Ekiti, Chairman Ekiti Council of Traditional Rulers.
Kábíyèsí, kábíyèsí, kábíyèsí o.
His Royal Majesty Eze Dr. T.A. Obiefule, First Deputy Chairman, Imo State Council of Traditional Rulers and National President, Traditional Rulers of Nigeria. He was coronated in the year 1982 in his kingdom. You're welcome, Your Royal Majesty.
Eze Igadio, ogologo ndụ.
His Royal Highness also is here with us, Eze Lucky Okaru, PhD, Secretary, Imo State Council of Traditional Rulers. We'll take more recognitions as we get them. We have from the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, we have the Director Child, we have the Deputy Director Child, we have the Director of Finance, we have the Special Assistant to the Honorable Minister of Special Duties, we have the Personal Assistant to the Honorable Minister, and also from the National Council of Women's Societies and all the other international agencies, too numerous to recognize at this time. We say a very warm welcome and a very beautiful morning to you all. From the National Assembly, we have the Senate Chairman, the Chairman of the Senate, who is ably represented this morning by our own very dear sister, distinguished Senator Betty Apiafi, Senate Chair of the Senate Committee on Women Affairs. You're welcome, ma'am. Also representing the Global Youth Consortium Against Female Genital Mutilation, we have Mrs. Ikechukwu Doris. Is she here?
Let me use this opportunity to recognize the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Mary Beth Leonard. You're welcome, ma'am. And the same wise, let me recognize the Deputy Representative of UNICEF in Nigeria, Roshan Mutaza, who's been supportive all through to ensure that this day comes to pass gloriously. You're welcome, ma'am. Not forgetting the indefatigable Chief of Child Protection, Ibrahim Sise, who has worked on overdrive to ensure that this event here today is happening very well. Where is he? He's busy somewhere doing some work, I guess. You're welcome, Ibrahim. Let me also recognize the first Chancellor, Deputy Head of Delegation of the European Union, Alexandre Borges Gomez, who is here with us. You're welcome. The European Union has been so supportive of a lot of initiatives to ensure that we promote the well-being of children, especially girls and women in Nigeria. We recognize your support and your partnership. Thank you. Late yesterday evening, when we were trying to put this place together, I ran into a man who asked me, "What are you guys doing here?" And I tried to explain to him. And he said, "Is this still happening in Nigeria?" This is someone who's not less than 50 years. And I said, "Well, it may not be happening in your specific location, but it's still happening in Nigeria. And we all need to put our hands together to ensure that we eliminate FGM in Nigeria. The statistics are there. I know that in 2014, the UNFPA UNICEF joint program undertook a study, and it was revealed that there are 5 states where the practice is prevalent. Imo State and Ebonyi State in the southeast, Osun State, Ekiti State, and Oyo State. These are where you have it being most prevalent. That is not to say it's not happening in some of the other states. But I believe, I have a firm conviction that by the time we launch this movement for good today, it's going to percolate to all these areas where this practice is prevalent, so that in the near future, we will come together to celebrate zero existence of female genital mutilation in Nigeria.
We must not forget the reason why we're here. We have from the young community, young children who are the very important aspect of our nation building. Can we recognize all the children who are with us in the hall today? We celebrate you. Can you all rise? Let's see where you're sitting. All the young people in the hall. Thank you for coming in your large number. We're starting this program now. We're supposed to be expecting the Honorable Minister of Health. I think he will join us in the course of the program. Shall we all rise for the national anthem? Stanza of the national anthem as our opening prayer. O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true, great lofty heights attain, to build a nation where peace and justice reign. In the same vein, while we're still standing, shall we take the women's anthem led by the police band.
All across the nation, all around the world, women are longing to be free. No longer in the shadow, forced to stay behind. The sign bright fighting through equality, so sing a song for women everywhere. Let it ring around the world and never, never cease. So sing a song for women everywhere. Equality, development, women can't be silent when all around the world, when the people hurt and hungry children cry. We'll sing up for justice and development. I know the rights of all the people. So sing a song for women everywhere. Let it ring around the world and never, never cease. So sing a song for women everywhere. Equality, development, and peace. Women now are working to build a better world.
where the love
of peace can rest on every shore. When men lay down their weapons and learn to love and share, and people work to put an end to war, so sing a song for women everywhere. Let it ring around the world and never, never, so sing a song for women everywhere. Equality, development, so sing a song for women everywhere. Let it ring around the world and never, never, so sing a song for women everywhere. Equality, development, and peace.
Can we appreciate the police band for singing out loud and clear for Nigerian women? This is not a Nigerian women's anthem, it's a global women's anthem. You'll find it on page 2, so please try and internalize it so you always remember that women are working to build a better world. No wonder most of the female ambassadors that are here this morning are women. Can we appreciate the women? Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have established the protocol for the day, so we'll just move on into the main event. First, to welcome us this morning is no other person but the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, a he for she, Engineer Adebiyi Olufunsho, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Can we appreciate him as he takes the podium?
This weekend. I have a mother, I have a sister, and I have daughters. So can you join me in celebrating women, please? The Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Dame Politani, it's been a privilege working with you. She's proved to be a mother, a mentor, a coach, a leader, a director. I don't know what else to use to describe her. Thank you very much for the privilege of working with you. Your Excellency, the Ambassador of United States, British High Commissioner, the Ambassador for France and Spanish, and some other ambassadors present here, the heads of UN representatives and agencies, the UN agencies and representatives who are here, the honorable commissioners from various states of the Federation, our royal fathers, directors from the Ministry of Women Affairs, the best directors in the world. Please, let's clap for these people. They are quite wonderful. Development partners, our stakeholders, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the launch of the Movement for Good to End Female Genital Mutilation, which is being convened by the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs in partnership with UNICEF and other stakeholders. Female genital mutilation, in my own layman language, includes or means all procedure that involves partial or total removal of the female external genitalia or other injury to the female genital organs for not justifiable or definable medical reasons. There are about 4 types. I won't bore you with the English, but regardless of the types, the FGM is a form of gender-based violence being a harmful practice against women and girls, a public health challenge, and a human rights violation. In most rural areas, the crude method employed could lead to contamination and complications, immediate, short-term, and long-time damages to these women. It can even lead to infertility, miscarriages, stillbirth, babies, or develop obstetric fistula, among others. The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, therefore, through the able leadership of the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, has demonstrated strong commitment towards the welfare of women and girls by signing and ratifying various international regional instruments, treaties, and conventions that seek to ensure the rights of women and girls are upheld. Let me pause here and tell you this. We are lucky and we are privileged to have a woman in the helm of affairs in the Women Affairs Ministry who is passionate, determined, and pursuing the cause of women with every drop of her blood, with every cell, ready to fight, ready to defend, ready to stand for women anytime, any day. Incidentally, call her in the middle of the night, she's ready to fight for women. Can we put our hands together once again for her, please? Therefore, the activities lined up for this launch include, but not limited to, keynote address by the Minister of Women Affairs, a short video supporting this movement by UNICEF Ambassador, Goodwill Messages from members of the Diplomatic Corps, parliamentarians, honorable ministers of MDAs, poems according to the theme, dance dramas, traditional dance by unity dance troops, among others. I want to therefore most respectfully assure you that the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs is happy to receive all in attendance and will fulfill its obligations towards the Nigerian women and girls in line with our mandate in the ministry. Once again, I welcome you all as we work together to promote the health and total well-being of the Nigerian women and girls for self-actualization, contributions to sustainable national development. Finally, I wish to acknowledge the tremendous support given to the ministry by members of the press through their coverage of the ministry's activities and urge them to continue to bring issues of women and girls in the front burner in their reportage. Thank you for listening. God bless you all.
I'm not sure that applause was for the permanent secretary. When you talk of a he for she, he is an embodiment of what you would wish a he for she to be. Thank you, the Honorable Permanent Secretary. When the movement for good was conceived, one key factor or one key element for this movement is the role of children and young persons. Today, we will hear from these young persons. There is power in the spoken word, and that is why the next item on the agenda is titled Spoken Word. It provides an opportunity for us to listen and to hear from young persons what they feel about the issue of female genital mutilation. I don't want to serve you dessert when you haven't even had your appetizer. So let me hold my comments and invite to present the spoken word to us Hafsat Abdullahi. She's an artist and an anti-SGBV ambassador. Can you put our hands together for her, please? While she's getting set up, I wish to acknowledge the key role of the traditional and religious institutions in helping to eliminate female genital mutilation. And that is why we have here a retinue of representation of royal fathers. And I hope and wish that by the time they leave Abuja and return to their respective domains, we will only hear good news in terms of the state of prevalence of female genital mutilation in their respective communities. Can we then put our hands together as we encourage Hafsat Abdullahi with his spoken word?
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests. I'm honored to be on this platform performing before you today. I want a spoken word piece titled, I Still Bleed. Where I come from, a woman is made, not born. I should hold this. All right. Sorry for that. Okay. I'll take it from the top. Where I come from, a woman is made, not born. Her fate is to subject, to be trampled upon. Her purpose pressed in a cup too bitter to drink from. Her dreams remain dreams unborn. Her aspiration stillborn. Mindset restrained before they're fully formed. Where is not her own. And father's house is not her home. Because here where she calls home, home's burden's too heavy for her to hold. So like girls before her and the ones after her, it will swallow her whole. But this circle ends with me, her. I shall be her, speak the truth. Recount this horror tales with all the gory details, and you be the judge if these practices should still prevail. I still bleed, still cry like a kid, still smell, still harassed by emotions I'm too embarrassed to tell, and swell. Sometimes I want to yell, to tell that unlike you promised, all be well. Mommy. Sorry, do you mind if I take it from the top again? All right, thank you so much. Thanks. Where I come from, a woman is made, not born. Her fate is to subject, to be trampled upon. Her purpose compressed in a cup too bitter to drink from. Her dreams remain dreams unborn. Her aspiration stillborn, mindset restrained before they're fully formed. Here where I come from, a girl's body is not her own, and her father's house is not her home. Because here where she calls home, home's burden's too heavy for her heart to hold. And like girls before her and the ones after her, it will swallow her whole. But this circle ends with me, I shall speak for me. Speak the truth. I shall recount these horrible tales with all the gory details, and you be the judge if these practices should still prevail. I still bleed, still cry like a deprived kid, still smell, still harassed by emotions I'm too embarrassed to tell, and swell, sometimes I want to yell, to tell that unlike you promised, all is yet to be well. Mommy, I dare say you lied. A piece of me had died, like that night you tore not just my body, but my soul alongside, and although no longer bare on the outside, I still bleed from the inside. Mamana, you told me the passage right is not a violation of my human rights, that the pain it once will linger for a few days, and in a few days it will all fade away, that all will be well. But why do I still feel unwell? Why? Why beneath my thighs feels like they carried coals from hell? Why does my life feels like it's trudging on eggshells? I still bleed, still convulse till my body is still gnash my teeth, still ball my fists as I glean strength from my waist bead. Each time I pee, I plead to God that I might die. I still bleed, still see rusted daggers, still see the unbroken eyes and will of my convinced mother, still feel her weight as she saunters and puts my thighs asunder. I'm still at war with anger, the betrayal still lingers. Today my husband remains a stranger, one with an unquenchable hunger, and I, a barren bride offered for a prize. I was 9, and today 29, my mindset refined, and my wounds have never been more defined. I am a semblance of anything but fine. Look at me. I beg you, take one long look at me and swear to me that this was all for me. And if it is, where is my prize? Where is my reward for years of forced sanctity? Where is my dignity? Where is the pride my youth was deprived for? Where is the promised crown of womanhood, the one I paid dearly with my childhood? Where? Here, where I come from, a girl's body is not her own, and her father's house is not her home. Because here where she calls home, home's burden's too heavy for her heart to hold. So like girls before her and the ones after her, it will swallow her whole. Will this circle end with me? As I recount these horrible tales with all the gory details, you judge if these practices should still prevail. Thank you.
If you didn't have goose pimples, I did. Can we put our hands together once again for Hafsat? There is nothing more to add. She's just said it all. From the point of view of a survivor of female genital mutilation. Let me then invite the next young lady to perform the spoken word. Folke Sarah Adewale. Can we put our hands together as we encourage her, please?
Good morning, everyone. Okay, so today I'm going to be reciting a poem for you. Okay. The time has come in my life, another girl of just 7. I wasn't even aware that my dignity and rights were stripped from me bare. I am cut and stabbed for beliefs that should not be. They see me not as a person with rights, but me to submit, so they cut off my parts, to curb my desires, to subdue my voice and my power. I am taken against my will, pinned to the ground, they covered my eyes and they muffled my cries. Blood flows like a stream from the most delicate part of my being. I look up and I feel myself leaving. I ask my mother why we are victims to what elders claim to be wisdom. But the only thing I get is a slap for my behavioral lack. But enough is enough, I say. I refuse to lie helpless as my sisters occurred merciless. I feel it's time to be selfless and bring this endless tradition to a stop. It is our body, it is our rights. We refuse to be mutilated, but instead choose to elucidate the dangers of female genital mutilation. Hashtag end female genital mutilation. Thank you.
Will it be too much if I ask that she gets another round of applause? This is only a tip of the iceberg. The movement plans to mobilize 5 million people in the 5 states to push, advocate, sensitize, and ensure that FGM is eradicated. And the youth are the fulcrum of this movement. Thank you.
Thank you. While this was going on, we had come in the brand new president of the National Council for Women's Society, Hajia Lami Lau. Can we invite her for the Goodwill Message?
The Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, our dear mother and mentor, Dame Pauline Talley, our ambassadors here present, permit me please to stand on the existing protocol. First and foremost, let me use this forum to express my heartfelt appreciation to the Ministry of Women Affairs, UNICEF, and UNFPA for organizing this stakeholders event on female genital mutilation, for their numerous efforts towards eliminating female genital mutilation by the year 2030. The specific roles these establishments are playing towards elevating the plight of women and children are highly recommended. I am delighted that this gathering includes personalities and NGOs which are contributing positively to the reduction of incidents of female genital mutilation in Nigeria. It is therefore my hope that this gathering will afford those at the helm of affairs, particularly in government, the opportunity to understand better alternatives, or rather the expert advice of others on approaches towards ending this awkward practice as it affects womanhood. National Council for Women's Societies Nigeria, NCWS, as an umbrella body of all women groups in Nigeria, will work through a holistic approach at ensuring that all women and girls have the right to the highest attainable standard of health. Having in mind that those who are subjected to female genital mutilation have these fundamental rights denied to them, along with a range of other women's rights that female genital mutilation violates. At this junction, I am once again commending the joint efforts of UNICEF, UNFA, including the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, for this wonderful program, believing that before 2030, we shall have tremendous achievement on the elimination of female genital mutilation. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely wish you a beautiful celebration. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, the brand new president of the National Council for Women's Societies. Women truly have a role to play in the scourge of FGM and its reduction because they are the custodians of our traditional institutions. Can we appreciate once more the president of the National Council for Women's Societies? We want to recognize the presence of the UNFPA country representative to Nigeria and the ECOWAS, Ms. Ulla Mueller, in the hall. In no particular order, we'll be calling for their goodwill messages. The ambassador of France in Nigeria, Her Excellency Emmanuel Blackman, to give us her goodwill message.
Honorable ministers, governors, your royal highnesses, excellencies, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor for me to be here today on the occasion of the launch of the movement for good to end female genital mutilation, and to have this unique opportunity to acknowledge and to commend all the efforts done over the years by UNICEF, UNFPA, the Nigerian government, as well as civil society organizations and communities to fight against FGM in Nigeria. At least 200 million girls and women worldwide have undergone genital mutilation. And unfortunately, the interruption of prevention programs during the pandemic crisis could lead to millions more additional cases of FGM in the coming years. So this is why I believe the movement for good to end FGM emerging today is extremely timely and will be highly impactful, thanks to its global approach, targeting all sectors of society, adolescents, women, boys, traditional community, religious leaders, women-led groups, health and justice sector. Indeed, to promote the elimination of this scourge, coordinated and systematic efforts involving everyone are needed, focusing on human rights, gender equality, sex education, and paying particular attention to the needs of women and girls who have been subjected to such practices. Firmly committed to defend the rights of girls and women, France has made the fight against FGM a priority of its feminist diplomacy in the spirit of sustainable development goals. And here in Nigeria, the French embassy is fully committed to support initiatives aiming to combat these phenomena, which constitutes a serious attack on the integrity, the dignity, the safety, and the fundamental rights of girls and women, as well as a major obstacle to achieving equality between women and men. So for all these reasons, and even more today after hearing the incredible performance by these two young ladies just before, I act to end FGM with all of you. Thank you.
A commitment from France to end FGM. Can we appreciate her once more? We also have to give her goodwill message, Her Excellency Mary Beth Leonard, Ambassador of the US in Nigeria. Please, a round of applause for her.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you so much for inviting me to this important event to launch the movement for good to end female genital mutilation. FGM harms women and girls across the continent, and we in this room certainly recognize it as an unnecessary procedure without medical value, with no place in any society. To this end, the United States is working with its partners around the world to eliminate all forms of gender-based violence, including female genital mutilation. Last October, the Biden-Harris administration announced the Comprehensive Federal Strategy on Gender Equity and Equality. Known also more simply as the Gender Strategy, it calls for stepping up efforts to prevent gender-based violence and improve services for survivors, both in the United States and abroad. Here in Nigeria, the United States has been steadfast in its partnership with the Nigerian government to eliminate this abhorrent practice. Last year, the United States Agency for International Development announced the $10 million Safe Surgery in Family Planning and Obstetrics program, currently implemented in Sokoto, Kebbi, Bauchi, Ebonyi states, and in the FCT. This program is strengthening the health sector by training care providers and improving the training curriculum they need to help victims. It also raises awareness in communities about the dangers of FGM and on where to access care. USAID also partners with Nigeria on the Momentum Country and Global Leadership Program, targeting gender-based violence in Ebonyi and Sokoto states. The program created a comprehensive referral directory that supports managers who provide care, treatment, referrals, and support to survivors of gender-based violence in nearly 100 government health facilities in some 14 communities. We are so fortunate to partner with the Minister for Women's Affairs and Social Development, Her Excellency Dame Pauline Talon, on both initiatives. Thank you for your hard work on behalf of women and your continued partnership. I would like to close with a quote from Secretary Blinken from the International Women of Courage Awards ceremony in 2021 that I think is apt for this occasion. When we design our foreign policy with the rights and needs of women and girls in mind, our policy is more effective, more humane, and more likely to make a lasting difference in people's lives. And when we support women, we can help foster change on a much broader scale, because it is often women doing the hard work to make that change happen. I agree with Secretary Blinken and proudly reaffirm the United States' commitment to continue in our shared struggle to end female genital mutilation. Thank you.
The USA has made another commitment to end female genital mutilation in Nigeria. When women are in charge, a lot happens and good things begin to happen. Can we appreciate the ambassador to the USA in Nigeria? Coming on next is the High Commissioner, Permanent Representative to ECOWAS, British High Commission in Abuja, Catriona Leon CB. You're welcome, Your Excellency.
Well, good morning, everybody. Please allow me to stand on the existing protocol, but I do want to give a particular shout out to our great colleague, the Honourable Minister Pauline Talon and her team for taking this really important initiative, and to thank very much the two brave young ladies who spoke unbelievably movingly. I will not forget those speeches, and they have set the tone for us today and set us the challenge that we have to end this horrific, horrible practice. I've worked in quite a lot of countries where this practice is mainstream, including with women in my own offices. Some of them, to my kind of slight surprise and astonishment, still defend it. As the girl said, you know, these practices are deep-rooted, but there can be no excuse for a girl not having ownership of her own body, as you quite rightly said. I know it's seen as a mark of transition from girlhood to womanhood, but it's also, for many girls, the end of their childhood, the end of their education, and of course survivors are left with horrific mental as well as really serious physical impacts. So just a brief word about what the UK is doing. Like my American and French colleagues, this is a really, really high priority for my government, for my Foreign Minister, Liz Truss, and for our Prime Minister. So we're backing what's called the Africa-led movement to end FGM. We've put funding into this, and it's working at different levels with activists and communities. It's looking at the evidence of what works. It'll be working with UN partners, with WHO to provide the practical medical support, but really crucially, and I'm really glad to see traditional leaders here today, trying to encourage them to step up and challenge these practices. So it's a huge priority for us. And one final thing I wanted to put on the agenda for us all to do as we move very firmly into election season here, let's scrutinize the manifestos of all the presidential, indeed, all the candidates, and encourage them to make a very, very clear commitment when and if they get into power to end this horrific practice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. The United States of America ambassador is a woman. France, a woman. Britain, a woman. All out here to support the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs. Can we appreciate these beautiful women? Coming on next, if you're proud to be a woman in this hall, can I see your hands up? Beautiful. Great Nigerian women. Great Nigerian women. Great African women. Great women of the world. And so to support us, we have the he for she's. And coming on next, we have the ambassador of the Embassy of Spain in Nigeria, His Excellency Juan Cel, to complement what we're doing here today. Let's appreciate a he for she.
Honorable Minister, traditional leaders, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. Indeed, I am the first male ambassador to intervene this morning, but I am a proud he for she. Let me also start by congratulating our ladies for those very brave performances that have moved us all this morning. And let me also very briefly commend the ministry and all of you for this much needed initiative. I want to especially salute community involvement as the authorities' determination is essential, civil society participation precious, and the support from the international community most relevant. It is the communities and the traditional leaders that hold the keys to finally change the narrative. Because no tradition, and we understand the value of tradition, should be used to justify harmful practices to girls and women. I want to express the full support of Spain, and if I may, my personal commitment, also as a father of 3 daughters, to this call to action. So let's end FGM in Nigeria and in the world for good. Muchas gracias.
It's a call to end FGM in Nigeria. Another round of applause for His Excellency. Coming up next is the first Counselor, Deputy Head of Delegation of the European Union, Delegation to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and to the Economic Community of West African States, His Excellency Alexandre Borges Gomez. You're welcome.
I always appreciate the efforts at pronouncing my name, so thanks very much for that. I'll stand on existing protocol and salute the Minister, of course, and my colleagues from Diplomatic Corps and the Royal Highnesses. It's really, there isn't much, I have a feeling there isn't much else for me to say after the performances we saw before. It's quite emotive, and it's very touching, and I think it speaks much more than what we can say ourselves. I'll limit myself to saying that, of course, we're very keen on being here, we European Union. I mean, we're supporting this via the Spotlight initiative, of course, and it would just not be a question at all of us not being here. I will add here that, of course, we also have a female ambassador. So, I'm only here as the deputy, so, and she's on leave, so that's why she's not around. It's a painful subject, it's an embarrassing subject, and as the Spanish ambassador said, I don't really think we should be hiding behind tradition to defend any practice as such. There's lots of things that were done in the past that are not done anymore. It's called evolution. And I think we could do without this. It's very good that we're launching this. You notice this is civil society. I mean, the leadership is with the Ministry of Women's Affairs and the Minister. But of course, it's a civil society movement, or it intends to be. And I think that's where we're going to get there, to get everybody involved. It's something that, whenever I say a few words, it's something that always appears, is that this is a hindrance also, regardless of, or over and above the potential, that this does not prevent people from realizing the full potential. And of course, if women, which are more than half the population of most countries, don't realize the potential, the country doesn't realize the potential. So for those who maybe have a heart that's less sensitive than others, maybe they can think of that as well. I also think the point that Katrina made about scanning the manifestos of parties and politicians seeking a re-election, it's an excellent idea, and I think we should speak out on this. We have been committed to this, the European Union, and will remain committed to this issue here as elsewhere. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks very much.
Thank you, the first Chancellor of the EU delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS. Let me use this opportunity to recognize the presence of the WHO representative to Nigeria, Walter Kazadi Mulombo. Can we acknowledge him here? You're welcome, sir. We are done for now with the Goodwill Messages, and we will appreciate the fact that everybody here is as important as the other. But if we all had to speak, perhaps we'll have dinner while we are still here and continue tomorrow morning. So let those who have spoken be deemed to have spoken on behalf of us all. And when I say deemed, I tend to recall the statement of the Supreme Court of Nigeria when they were called upon to interpret the meaning of deemed in the context of the Land Use Act. And the court had this to say: when a thing is deemed to be another, it does not mean that it is that which it is deemed to be, but that for certain purposes, it is deemed to be that which it is deemed to be. I wonder if this made any sense at all. But the learned law lords have left us with that definition of deemed, and we are stuck with this. Ladies and gentlemen, the next item on the agenda is a cultural performance by the FCT Unity Troupe. I hope they are very ready to perform, and their performance will be hinged to have a cultural portrayal and celebration of the positive traditional values and practices that promote women's rights, their right to life, to dignity, well-being, education, and all the good things that go with it. You can see from the sizes of drums that are being rolled into the arena. You have the floor. Can we please put our hands together for the FCT Unity Troop? That was a very energetic performance, and it portrays the rich cultural values that we have in this country. And for your information, I don't know how many of you understood the language of the talking drum. Because when the drum talks, you listen. If you understand the language, you get the message. But I believe we were all impressed with the performance of the FCT cultural. Can we put our hands together once again for them? Now we are moving from the cultural troupe to engage with the custodians of our culture and tradition. It's time for the special remarks, and we will engage with our traditional fathers who are here with us to give us some special remarks. To this end, I will invite His Royal Majesty Eze Dr. Emmanuel Okeke, the Ezimo and Chairman Imo State Council of Traditional Rulers and Community Policing, who is represented here by no less a person than His Royal Majesty Eze T.A. Obiefule. He is the first Deputy Chairman of the Imo State Council of Traditional Rulers, and he is the National President, Traditional Rulers of Nigeria, and he was coronated in the year 1982, November the 20th. Can we put our hands together for His Royal Majesty? Eze Birikwao, Eze Igadio, Ise, Eze Iganyanu Itonam Chukwari Echichi. Oh yeah, Igaderigema.
Thank you very much, our able MC. In fact, I'll start by thanking God for making this occasion happening today. The next is to recognize the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline, who has been piloting the affairs of women affairs very, very creditably. I equally recognize all the traditional rulers who are here. I can see my friends, the Oba and the Eze, here present. And I equally recognize our ambassadors who are here. I think I will stand on the existing protocol. In fact, I am here on dual capacity. One, I am representing the Ezimo, His Majesty, as Dr. Isi Okeke, the chairman of Imo State Council of Ndieze. I am representing also the Traditional Rulers Association of Nigeria, which I am the national president. In fact, Ezimo asked me to say a few words. He's very happy with the Honorable Minister. He's very happy with the PAMSEC who is here with us. He's very happy with the entire Ministry of Women Affairs that we should keep the flag flying. Equally, on my behalf as the national president of the Association of Royal Traditional Rulers of Nigeria, here in Abuja, with season 3. We have had several presidents, like the former Dasuki. We have Emi Ogwandu. We have 4 other emirs. I think I'm the 4th in the series. In fact, this ceremony, we have started it long ago with them Pauline. You know, it has been on the hymn of affairs of this country many years ago. I have known her over 15 years ago. Even when she was the deputy governor of Plateau State. He used to give me VIP status when I come to Plateau State. Pauline, thank you very much. Keep it on. So I'm standing here to give you support. You know very well that traditional rulers and women, they work pari passu. They're always together. So traditional rulers will give you support. We have been giving you support. You will succeed. And female genital motivation will be stopped as soon as possible. With traditional rulers who knows the people. His traditional rulers are closer to the people. Any assignment given to us, we do it very well. We are assuring you that traditional rulers of this country, traditional rulers of Imo State, where I come from, will give you 100% support for this movement to succeed. Thank you very much.
Cha. Iwo Kwen Zono. Thank you very much, His Royal Majesty, for those comforting words of commitment. As we know, the traditional institution has a key role to play in the eradication of female genital mutilation. How do we strengthen the community-based structures that will support the surveillance to find out who is still engaging in this practice? How do we engage with the neighborhood watch to fish out and hand over the perpetrators to law enforcement agencies so that the laws and policies that have been put in place will take its course? And then how do we provide support at the community level for survivors of FGM to ensure that they are given all the necessary support to assuage the pains that they have undergone? We thank you very much. I invited the Eze. Now I'll invite my co-compare to invite His Royal Majesty from the Southwest. Princess.
Thank you. He's so tall. I'm like a walking stick beside him. Coming on next is His Royal Majesty, Oba Gabriel Ayodele Adejunwo, the only son of his son Ekiti, Chairman Ekiti Council of Traditional Rulers. Kade Kalori, Kibata Keleze, Kabiesi o.
Good morning, everybody. Let me recognize the Honorable Minister, Federal Minister of Women Affairs, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, all the ambassadors here present, my colleague, the Royal Fathers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I know that we gather here this morning to launch the movement for good to end female genital mutilation in Nigeria, even in the whole world. This practice of female genital mutilation has caused girls and women a lot of harm, yet ignorantly, we are still practicing it in our society without considering the consequential effect on female side, most especially their marriage life. At least these are described them of their enjoyment in their marriage life. This given me a displeasure to see that our land of honor and fountain of knowledge, Ekiti State, rank as second highest state in Nigeria practicing female genital mutilation at 57.7%, 2018 demographic report, though it's better than 72.3% reported in 2013. However, I have to encourage myself, as David did in the Bible, where he was invaded by the enemy. At least his request of God that he need to pursue, he overtook, and he recovered, which I believe we are going to do the same in the state. We are going to pursue it, we will overcome, and we are going to recover, that we ensure that this practicing is fully eliminated in the state. So, but when I use as the parameter that I used, which was women and girls aged 15 to 49 years, which means that it preceded the time now the clamoring and sensitization against female genital mutilation became known to our people. Despite the fact that the origin of female genital mutilation is unclear, like that of a male, which was mentioned in the holy books, but our people still practice it and believe that it's a taboo or abomination if failed to mutilate a lady girl. However, in the past few years, our people have now realized that it is evil, unethical, and punishment to continue to practice a female genital mutilation in our society based on the various educational and sensitization programs being organized in our state by Ministry of Health, Women Affairs, anti-gender-based violence organization led by our First Lady, Ekiti State, Relubi Sifayemi, the wife of the governor of Ekiti State, to discourage people that female genital mutilation is evil and should be totally eliminated in our society. She even ensure the withdrawal of their object they use for the practice and empower them in other business areas that they won't go back to the practice anymore. We are the traditional ruler and custodian of culture, custom, and tradition. In the state, sometime last year, issued a communique at a similar program like this, that female genital mutilation is suicidal and must be eradicated 100% in the Ekiti State, in which we are not relaxing as a leader that have close relation with our people. And we have been encouraging them, discouraging them, sensitizing them that this thing is evil and female genital mutilation is illegitimate. Finally, I can assure you today that if your team of enumerator now go back to Ekiti and do the statistics on the practice of FGM from the age 1 to 10, you will see that the percentage is if not absolutely zero, it will be minimal. I appreciate the organizer of this program for the privilege I have to give a good message. Thank you. God bless you.
Every boy, every girl deserves a future that is bright. But when we fold our hands, who is gonna shine the light? There is no better time for you and me.
Kábíyèsí. Kábíyèsí. Kábíyèsí o. Kí adé pẹ́ lórí. Kí bàtà pẹ́ iṣẹ́. Thank you very much. We feel happy that you came all the way from your kingdom to come here in Abuja to make this commitment. And we, as the UN program, will continue to support through the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs to support activities that will lead to the total eradication of female genital mutilation. Thank you so much. May I invite Dr. Costley Aderibigbe, the founder of Value Female Network and Executive Secretary of Global Youth Consortium Against Female Genital Mutilation, to give us her remarks. She deserves more encouragement, please. And there's something in a name, Costly.
Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, Ambassadors, Royal Highnesses, young people, activists, ladies and gentlemen. My friend, I call her small but mighty. She's not here today. In fact, she does not even know what is happening here today. She just clocked 2 years, but she was caught 4 months ago. We failed her. The government, community leaders, traditional leaders, young people, we failed her. And it is because of this that we are seated here today. Girls are dangerously at risk of FGM in communities. Today, which is the launch of the movement for good to end FGM, today marks a monumental progress in our country's fight against female genital mutilation. The movement for good is a whole of society, community-led undertaking to drive and implement and scale up activities to end female genital mutilation. By mobilizing 5 million people, of course, women at risk of FGM, pregnant women, lactating mothers, community leaders, young people, survivors. The movement for good is set to zero down on FGM in Nigeria. I'm glad that young people are driving this. Of course, if we look around us, we'll see a lot of young people represented here. We'll see the adolescent group, we'll see young people from diverse ages. And I say kudos to UNICEF for this. We want to see more involvement of young people. We want to see more of their involvement at grassroots level, bearing in mind the digital divide that exists in this country. Work with youth CSOs, work with youth-led movements, work with youth network in the design and implementation of grassroots activities following pledges. And I speak to survivors of FGM like me. Take ownership of this movement. Use your voice as a powerful storytelling tool to end FGM in communities. And as we do this, it is my hope that we will achieve together a world free of female genital mutilation, and that my friend will also get justice. The Global Youth Consortium comprises of members from 75 countries and will continue to support the movement for good. When this initiative is also being scaled up to other countries, our members on the ground will be there to support at all levels. Lastly, let me reiterate this. It is not enough to commit. What is enough is to follow up commitments with actions. So as we are about to pledge, I want us to reflect on this. What is one singular action that you are going to take to end female genital mutilation? I join everyone to congratulate the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Federal Ministry of Health, activists and young people on this landmark launch of the movement for good to end FGM. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Costley. The role of young persons in the elimination of FGM cannot be overemphasized, and this is what you've restated. We appreciate you. We appreciate the work your organization is doing towards eliminating FGM in Nigeria. We have failed your young friend, but we hope we don't have cause to fail other children as far as this practice is concerned. Thank you very much. Since 2014, UNICEF and UNFPA, under the umbrella of the UN, and in partnership with the federal government of Nigeria and partners at the state level, have been implementing the joint program on the elimination of FGM in Nigeria. That program has been implemented in 5 states: Osun State, Oyo State, Ekiti State, Imo State, and Ebonyi State. And it seeks to provide legal services, protection, health care, to support the sensitization of girls and communities towards the eradication of FGM in Nigeria. And this is being implemented under the umbrella of the United Nations in Nigeria. There is someone who oversees all the activities of the UN in Nigeria. Join me to welcome to the podium the UN Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator in Nigeria, Mr. Matthias Schmerkle, to the podium.
Every boy, every girl.
Thank you very much. In considering all established protocol observed, allow me a shout out to the Honorable Minister for Women Affairs, always inspiring to be at events with you, as well as a shout out to the young people and children, and especially the 2 young ladies who spoke so movingly and said it all at the beginning. It is truly a great privilege to deliver these remarks on behalf of the entire UN family in Nigeria. And I thank in particular some of my colleagues, the incomparable Peter from UNICEF, Ulla from UNFPA, and Lansana, another he for she from UN Women, for contributing to these remarks. The formal launch of the movement for good to end FGM in Nigeria is really another significant milestone in our partnership with the government of Nigeria, but also many other actors and leaders across all of society. We see the movement for good to end FGM as a whole of society effort towards the mantra, leave no girl and no woman behind in Nigeria. On behalf of the UN, and in particular UNICEF, UNFPA, UN Women, and the WHO, I congratulate and thank the Federal Ministers of Women Affairs and Health, traditional rulers and religious leaders, and young people and women organizations for championing this laudable coalition of partners to establish and then hopefully sustain, as we've just heard through action, the impactful society-wide social movement to act to end FGM. Allow me a few statistics. We all know them, but it's important to repeat them. Nigeria currently accounts for 10% of the 200 million FGM survivors worldwide. So that means almost 20 million survivors of FGM in Nigeria. And every year, over 4 million girls, we just heard of another example, are at risk of this extreme form of violence. Now, of course, behind these statistics are countless individual stories, such as the one we just heard of individual girls and women who often have not only experienced FGM, but experienced child marriage and or implications of FGM, such as obstetric, fistula, and even death. The 2018 National Health and Demographics Survey reported a decline since 2013 in the prevalence of FGM in Nigeria from approximately 25% to 20%. The highest rates remain in the southeast at 35% and southwest at 30% among women of reproductive age 15 to 49. Noticeably, though, the recent surveys indicate the existence of hotspots among girls 0 to 14 age in non-typical states, particularly for example, Bauchi, Kaduna, Jigawa, and Yobe. Another aspect of this is that the medicalization of FGM in Nigeria remains a threat in some states, for example, Ekiti, Osun, and Oyo. Although the overall prevalence has sharply decreased, as I mentioned, analysis of the data demonstrates an increased level of mutilation through medicalization. Now, allow me to come back to the point that a deep dive of the data shows that the prevalence amongst girls up to 14 years old is still high or indeed on the rise. 86% of these children were mutilated before the age of 5, meaning the risk of FGM is greatest at early years of life. What this tells us is that the perpetrators of this harmful practice are devising ways to circumvent surveillance and diminish the gains recorded over the years towards the eradication of FGM in Nigeria by targeting infants who neither know nor understand the enormity or magnitude of the practice they are being subjected to. We all know by now that there are no known psychological or biological benefits from this practice, and the rationalization, as several speakers referred to, that it is a practice handed over from generation to generation and can be culturally justified is no longer acceptable. It's a practice which violates women's and girls' rights to life, health, and dignity, as well as their bodily autonomy. The time to end FGM in Nigeria is now, and the responsibility to do so lies with us all. The movement we are launching today will support innovative and safe platforms driven by young people who have pledged their commitment to end the practice of FGM using the hashtag #ActToEndFGM. The expansion of digital literacy and increased access to social media platforms in the country presents an opportunity to advance positive social norms that promote the health and well-being of children, and in particular girls. Allow me a few words about the two initiatives that are mentioned on the banner here. The UNFPA-UNICEF joint program on the elimination of FGM in Nigeria is determined to build a national movement grounded in youth leadership to disrupt the social systems that uphold FGM. The movement for good, as we heard, targeting an initial 5 million people, especially young people, will advance the joint program's strategy of expanding opportunities for girls and women's agency. In the interest of time, let me skip some of the detail. It's the flagship program of the UN to address this. Another example is the joint EU-UN Spotlight initiative that also is in partnership with many others, including government and private sector, trying or contributing to eliminating all forms of violence and harmful practices against women and girls. Now, Nigeria has in fact made strong public commitments to ending FGM by 2030. With less than 7 years to go, we are unfortunately seriously off track, as the numbers show, to end FGM by 2030. So the question begs itself, what can we do differently to accelerate social norm change and ensure that violence against women and girls and the cutting stops? We urgently need concrete actions to achieve this, and examples of this beyond strong political commitments, and I like very much the idea of asking presidential candidates for their views on this. We need, in addition to strong political commitment, data. We need to collect and use reliable data to inform public policy initiatives and programming and advocacy. We, of course, need tailored and comprehensive preventive and responsive services for survivors of FGM. And we must, of course, talk about money and funding. Opportunities from the perspective of the UN also lie in nationwide passage and full implementation of various initiatives with costed action plans. For example, the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, the Child's Rights Act, as well as the Gender and Equitable Opportunities Bill. In 2020, we saw the impact of the declaration of state of emergency on GBV declared by the Governors Forum in accelerating passage of some of these key laws. As the UN, we call on all legislators to further pass and domesticate laws where this is yet to be done. Now, we've talked a lot this morning also that beyond the primary responsibility of government, traditional rulers, religious and community leaders have a fundamental role to play. They must ensure that there is zero tolerance, and it's good to have heard some of the commitment around this, zero tolerance for FGM in your respective communities. Today's launch is a call for action for Nigeria to fully localize the response in all affected communities. This movement, supported by the UN system through the global program, the UNFPA UNICEF joint program, as well as other work such as the Spotlight Initiative, will strengthen social accountability to improve policies and legislation, and strengthen also importantly service delivery systems in the 5 states in particular, but beyond. Within the UN system and on behalf of the UN system, I can say that we look forward to continuing our hopefully impactful collaboration in ending FGM by 2030. Thank you for your attention.
The time to end FGM in Nigeria is now, coming from the UN resident and humanitarian coordinator in Nigeria. Another round of applause for him. We have in our midst also this morning the representative of the Oni of Ife, His Imperial Majesty, Oba Adeyeye Oniton Ogunwusi Ojaja II of Ile-Ife. He's here represented by Oba Adedire Adewole Solomon Onifegunwa of Ifegua, Ile-Ife. Kábíyèsí o, ẹ káàbọ̀, kádé pẹ́ lórí, kí bàtà pẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀. You're welcome. Going forward, we want to invite a lady who has made a difference here. She has championed this program, which is supported by the UNFPA UNICEF Joint Program on the Elimination of Female Genital Mutilation, generously funded by the various governments of Austria, France, Italy, Spain, Sweden, Britain, US, Japan, amongst others, and the European Union through the Spotlight Initiative Africa Regional Program. A lady who has changed the narratives and made life very significant for women in Nigeria. A lady who speaks about child rights and has been able to move beyond where we were in 2019 to what we're seeing and making sure that Nigerian women and children have a voice in nation building. A lady who has been there and has seen it all. Can we appreciate Her Excellency, Dame Pauline Talent, OFRPN. Some refer to her as Dame the Gem. You're welcome, Your Excellency.
There is no balance.
May we invite all the children to come round to support our mommy.
Woman, blow your trumpet, da da da. Will your trumpet, da da da.
Thank you very much. My boss is here. Can we please clap for the children and have them all out here? All that we are saying is to protect these children, is to protect their future, and to make sure that they become great leaders of tomorrow that can make a difference in this country. Thank you. Thank you, President, National Council of Women's Societies, and our Secretary. I want to specially acknowledge my boss, the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Ahmed, who is here ably represented by my boss, the Senate Chairperson of the Committee on Women Affairs in the Senate, distinguished Senator Betty Apiafi, a great sister, a great woman who has so much passion for issues affecting women and children. We are honored by your presence, and once again, welcome. I want to acknowledge and celebrate my he for she, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Women Affairs, a man that is so committed and he's learning so fast since he assumed office, Engineer Peter Funsho Adebi. I want to specially acknowledge the UN Resident Coordinator, my dear brother Matthias Chimel, and all the UN family here. I must specially acknowledge the UNICEF country rep, my dear brother Peter, and the UNFPA country rep, Ulamula, who is not personally here because she's out of the country, but her representative is here. I want to, in a very special way, acknowledge and celebrate our he for she ambassadors and my great sisters, the ambassadors of US, Mary Beth, Her Excellency, the Ambassador of Spain, Juan Cel, Your Excellency, Ambassador, the Deputy Head of Delegation, Alexandra Borges Gomez of the EU, Your Excellency, the France Ambassador, Emanuela Blattman, the British High Commissioner, Katrina Lang, our great dancer, the representative of the World Health Organization, Dr. Walter Malumba. I celebrate all of you for your powerful statement and commitment to ending gender-based violence and female genital mutilation in Nigeria. I want to especially acknowledge our royal fathers. I want to, in a very special way, thank His Imperial Majesty Eze Dr. T. Obiafule, representing the chairman of the Imo State Council of Chiefs. I want to also acknowledge the chairman of the Ekiti State Council of Chiefs. I want to acknowledge the representative of the Oni of Ife and all our traditional rulers that are here in person to support this very great movement to end female genital mutilation. In fact, our royal fathers are the custodians of culture, and from the powerful statement and reassurance that have been made by all our royal fathers here this morning, I can see light at the end of the tunnel. Their commitment and their reassurance to us that they will end female genital mutilation 100% is very, very significant because they are the custodians of the culture in our communities. They can make it happen if they so wish. And since they've made this statement, I believe that it is so, and very soon we will celebrate a zero tolerance of female genital mutilation in Nigeria. Our ambassadors are all here, they've listened, and they've noted it very seriously. And by the grace of God, if this is done, we will be saving the future of these young children. I just called the lady that just mentioned to us that a 2-year-old baby was mutilated 4 months ago. And that this girl, the whole thing is affecting her mentally. She's not talking to anybody in class. She's so angry with everyone. And only God knows how she's feeling, because from every indication, it was not properly done. And there's no way that female genital mutilation can ever be properly done. It is condemnable, it's a crime against humanity. And I pray that all of us gathered in this room should leave this hall as ambassadors towards zero tolerance of FGM. I acknowledge the President of the National Council of Women's Society and her team. I acknowledge all our civil society organizations that are here, our development partners, commissioners from the state, delegates, and especially our young, lovely children of Nigeria. Can we please clap for them? Thank you all for being here. Our great leaders, God bless you all. Another serious plea is to our media. The press, you have a lot to do. We rely on you that we must intensify advocacy, and this message should get to every nook and corner of the nation. Today marks yet another defining moment in our advocacy to end female genital mutilation through this historic launch of the movement for good to end FGM. Organized in Nigeria by the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs in collaboration with UNICEF, UN, and all our development partners. FGM is a traditional practice inflicted on girls and women worldwide, and it is widely recognized as a violation of human rights, which is deeply rooted in cultural beliefs and perceptions over decades and generations. The procedure involves the partial or total removal of the external female genital, causing injury to the female genital organs. In places where it is practiced, it is seen as a rite of passage of a girl child to womanhood. And this is encouraged by family members in the fear and belief of social and societal sanctions. I would like to state firmly that the procedure of FGM has no health benefits for girls and women at all. Science has proved that there is no any health benefits. Instead, it destroyed the psychic of the child and the woman. During the procedure, the mental and psychological agony attached with FGM is deemed the most serious complication because the problem does not manifest outwardly for help to be offered. Invariably, statistics have shown that Nigeria has the highest number of cases of FGM in the world, accounting for about 115 million out of 130 million circumcised women worldwide. The South-South zone, with 77% among adult women, has the highest prevalence practice in Nigeria. This is followed by the Southeast zone with 68% and the Southwest zone with 65%. The northern part of Nigeria also is not totally free from this practice, but it's very, very limited. Eliminating female genital mutilation is crucial to realizing many of the other sustainable development goals, including targets on health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, decent work and economic growth. The continuous practice of FGM denies girls and women the right to equal education opportunities for decent work, and their health, particularly sexual and reproductive health, are threatened. Permit me to inform this gathering that the present administration, under the able leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, is aware of the grave dangers of this practice to women and girls and is committed to ensuring that it's totally eradicated with the support of our traditional rulers. This informs the emphasis on one of the priority deliverables of this ministry's mandate from 2019 to 2023, which is to collaborate with the Ministry of Health to eradicate harmful practices to women and girls, including female genital mutilation. The 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, Section 4 of the Constitution states clearly that no person shall be subjected to any form of torture, inhuman or degrading treatment. The Child's Rights Act of 2003 in Section 11B states that no child shall be subjected to any form of torture, inhuman or degrading treatment, end quote. The Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 is indeed a variable weapon in this crusade. This recommends that a person who performs female circumcision or genital mutilation or engages another to carry out such acts commits an offense punishable by 4 years imprisonment or a fine of 200,000 or both. Our problem is not just domesticating the VAPT Act or the Child's Rights Act, but our problem now is the implementation of these laws. We must rise up to the occasion through our state houses of assemblies, with our governors, our traditional rulers, and religious leaders to ensure that these laws are implemented. The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, as the national machinery for the advancement of the rights of women and girls, is concerned about the lack of domestication of these acts in some states of the Federation. I'm, however, happy to note that as of today, 36 states have domesticated the VAPT Act, while 27 states have domesticated the Child's Rights Act. We will therefore scale up our advocacy to states that are yet to domesticate these two laws to ensure compliance and push for more convictions to serve as a deterrent to others. We need to see the implementation. We need to see more budgetary commitment to this cause at all levels. The case that has been reported this morning in Oyo, I promise you I will follow it to the latter end. As soon as we leave here, I will call the governor, I will call the speaker, and I will closely monitor and see that the perpetrators of this act are seriously dealt with by the law. The culture has long been shrouded in silence, which makes it difficult for victims to speak for fear of stigmatization. We must together provide an enabling environment to support the victim through making FGM-related support services free and increase the awareness on health and social impact of these practices on our economy. In this regard, the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs has made remarkable progress in the crusade to eradicate FGM and other harmful practices with support from UNFPA and UNICEF as follows. 1, annual observance of 6 February every year to join the global community to commit to zero tolerance on the dangers of female genital mutilation on women and girls. The day is set aside to create awareness on the eradication of female genital mutilation across countries in the world. 2, engagement with state governors, notable women leaders, traditional leaders, religious leaders, state house of assembly members, young boys and girls, the media, private sectors, and professional bodies on ending all forms of harmful practices that are against women and girls in Sokoto, Oyo, Ebonyi, Bauchi, Kwara, and Gombe states. Before I came into this hall, I made a call to the governor of Ekiti State, being the chairman of the Governors Forum, to remind him and to emphasize the need of their presence at this gathering. He sent his sincere apology. He's attending a program beyond, it's a situation beyond his control, but he says, I should reassure the entire House that his full commitment to ending FGM is in no doubt, and that he will also table this at their next Governors Forum. He had assured me that he will ensure that one of the governors will be with us before the end of this program. We hope they will be able to make it. I also spoke with the governor of Imo State, and he also reassured of his commitment. He would have been here, but he's given out his daughter in traditional marriage today. But he assured us, and thank God the chairman of his representative, both their representatives are here at the traditional level. So we pray that they are the ones that, by making proclamation as traditional rulers within their community, it is done. So we pray that when you go back, you will ensure that you make proclamations, because once a traditional ruler makes a proclamation on any issue and anyone goes against it, they know what will happen. So we await to see you in action at the end of this program. We are also working with UNFPA in establishment of surveillance system and mobilization of FGM champions to deliver door-to-door household discussions with community groups for the FGM in Oyo and Osun states this year. We hope to scale up this coverage across all the states in the southern zone. Community consciousness building and public declaration of FGM abandonment in Oyo, Osun, and Ekiti states to get data of communities that are ready to abandon the FGM practice, and also gather data of the communities that are yet to consent for abandonment of FGM practice. Well, I throw it back to the traditional rulers. You will know how to deal with those communities. Development of national guidelines on establishment of child care institutions, the national strategy on ending child marriage, the national gender policy, resource manual on nutritional care and support for vulnerable groups in our society. As we move into the implementation of the fourth phase of the joint program 2022 to 2030, accelerating efforts to end FGM in Nigeria as our collective responsibility through this official launch of the movement for good to end FGM in Nigeria. I call for support from parents, government at all levels, the private sector, the civil society organizations, development partners, youth groups, women groups, the media and community actors to join us towards eliminating this harmful practice. As strategic partners, we can identify new entities and generally mobilize a broad spectrum of actors, including non-traditional partners such as artists, harnessing youth capabilities, innovations, and advantages to drive the anti-FGM campaign in Nigeria. We listened to the young ladies that gave us a very powerful, moving poem that we were all in tears. We must intensify such advocacy to make sure that we drive this message to every doorstep. While emphasizing the phrase no to FGM, I congratulate all those in attendance on this memorable occasion and wish you all a successful launch of the movement for good to end FGM. Ending FGM is a task that must be done. Let's stop the cut. God bless Nigerian children. God bless Nigerian women. God bless the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is a call for action. Thank you for listening.
Smile for their face, they do not let them to live in sorrow. I am a child, the light, the dream, and the hope for tomorrow. And I deserve the best, indeed, I'm the pride of Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian child.
May we ask all the ambassadors to join the
I'm the reason to believe that it is possible. I'm the
all the ambassadors,
the
UN Resident
no child is
Country
less
Coordinator,
important, no
and
matter who you
UNICEF,
are.
the Permanent
With a little
Secretary,
love and the
please
chance,
join
you
in
too
this
can be a star,
picture with the children. Can some of the children squat in front so that we have our fathers and our mothers who have come here to support us?
Give me your ears, I no go beg. Picking it good love and care. Kings and queens, leaders of tomorrow. Life for better if you pay attention to every girl child. Whether the healthcare, be the education. 'Cause I be small girl, but I get big dreams. I am a child, the light, the dream, and the hope for tomorrow. Hope for tomorrow. And I deserve the best. Indeed, I'm the pride of Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian child. I'm a Nigerian child. I'm a Nigerian child. I'm a Nigerian
Thank you very much. Can we appreciate the Nigerian child? The children go to their seats, and the ambassadors, the royal fathers, and the honorable minister. Please, can we have your excellencies? Children, go to your seat. Thank you. All the children go to your seats. Thank you so much. Representative of the Senate President. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll continue with this program. Can we appreciate the Honorable Minister? Can we appreciate the Honorable Minister at this juncture? We have in our midst at this time the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Ahmed Lawan, PhD, who is represented by distinguished Senator Betty Jocelyn Okagwa Apiafi, representing the good people of Rivers State West Senatorial District, and here representing the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Can we appreciate this amazing woman, a retired banker, an educationist, and an economist? Thank you, distinguished Senator.
The Honorable Minister, Women Affairs, Her Excellency Dame Pauline Tallinn, our energetic, committed, and inspiring minister. Thank you for all you're doing. all the ambassadors here present, heads of UN agencies, honorable commissioners from various states of the Federation, royal fathers, development partners. Before I present the remark from the Senate President, I want to say something that while the spoken word was going on, I shed tears where I was sitting. I shed tears because I escaped narrowly from being a victim of female genital mutilation. In the community where I am from, the procedure was done when a woman is pregnant. And I thank God that I had a father who decided that he wasn't going to allow that. And the chiefs from the community, he mobilized them, and over years, that practice has been stopped in my community. So I believe today that the traditional rulers we have in our midst have a very strong role to play to stop this. If you make proclamations, not only proclamations, you make proclamations, you must follow it up. It's a shame that a 2-year-old girl from Oyo State was recently mutilated. And like the minister said, we are going to make sure we follow through. And Oyo, if you're a traditional ruler from Oyo sitting down there, please, you have a responsibility to go back to your communities, not only to pass proclamations, but to follow through and make sure that people are well enlightened of the dangers of female genital mutilation. But for the fact that other people did it, I would have been a victim. And the responsibility lies on all of us, especially the traditional rulers at this point. Whether the VAP Act or the Child Right Act is domesticated in your state or not, you can still do the right thing by ensuring that this dastardly act is stopped in your domain. And for those states, the minister did say something. What we need to do is to implement the VAP Act. What is implementation? Until the perpetrator of the act in Oyo State is taken to court and is sent to jail, that is the implementation of the act. And we are going to make sure that the perpetrator of that act against the 2-year-old child is taken to goes to jail. I'll personally be involved in that matter. We just have to stop. We can't have international community. We can't have outsiders coming to fight our battles for us. We are no longer a nation of 5 years independence or so. We are more than, we are a nation that should take responsibility for our actions. We thank the international community, the ambassadors, UN, development partners for all they are doing for us in areas that we should stand as a nation and take responsibility. And we will continue to stand. They've supported us enough, and we should be able to stand and work and do what is right for our people. I now proceed to read the remark by the Senate President. I am pleased to be part of this noble cause to end female genital mutilation in Nigeria, in line with the concern of improving the rights and dignity of the female gender. Female genital mutilation has been a controversial cultural practice, given its non-medical significance and the injury it sometimes causes for the female gender. Records have it that those below age 15 are often the target of this mutilation, which could cause maternal health, death, infertility, infection, and loss of sexual pleasure. Added to that, the practice is not at the age of consent, where victims will have a choice. They simply subject innocent children to this ancient practice that might later affect their quality of life. It is most definitely a practice we have to campaign against, consistent with new realities, and particularly the fact that we have proved the old reasons for this prevalence is inapplicable. We are in the 21st century, where activities have to be in tandem with modernity, and against the background of future developments, not only in innovation, but in customary practices. I commend your initiative for the movement for good to end female genital mutilation in Nigeria as a whole of society and community-led undertaking to support and strengthen grassroots enlightenment to eliminate the practice. Your focus on the 5 states, Ebonyi, Ekiti, Imo, Osun, and Oyo State, is as instructive alongside the plan to mobilize 5 million people to be part of the move towards #Act to End Female Genital Mutilation. I'm confident we will succeed in this drive, given our obvious zeal and enthusiasm. I therefore wish all the very best. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Signed, President of the Senate, Distinguished Senator Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, PhD, CON. Thank you very much.
Your hand, yeah.
I am a child, the light, the dream.
Thank you very much, distinguished Senator, for that very illuminating speech. When we talk about maternal mortality, we talk about near misses. From what we've heard her say, we see that her case was a case of a near miss. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in recognizing and welcoming Mr. Lasane Wone, who is a UN Women representative in Nigeria. Can we put our hands together for him, please? Thank you very much. Let me also use this opportunity to recognize Mrs. Toyin Araoye, who is the SA to the Governor of Osun State on Women and Children Matters. You're welcome, madam. We are happy to have you here. This message is from the Secretariat outside for participants from Ebonyi, Imo, Osun, Ekiti, and Oyo states. Endeavor that before you leave, when we are done, you meet the people at the registration desk to ensure that your documentation is done and that you can travel safely back to your respective destinations. We've done a bit of speeches. It is now time to go back to the FCT Unity Troupe for their dance drama presentation. But before then, let me then invite one of the key movers of this movement for good. For those of you who are very active on social media, you will see that it's been trending and trending big time for a while. There are people who are behind this. You may not see their faces, but behind the scenes, they are working to ensure that this movement takes off and delivers on its mandate. Join me in welcoming Ifeanyi Ofodo Raymond to the podium. Alhaji, Senu Senu.
Thank you very much. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings, Your Excellency, and I must say thank you so much for your dedication to ending female genital mutilation. Greetings, Royal Fathers. We are grateful for your commitment to end female genital mutilation. And most importantly, thank you, developing partners. Without you, this will not happen. As a male advocate, I have dedicated to make sure that gender equality is achieved. And that is why I am standing firm to urge my fellow men to promote what we call positive masculinity. Without men, women are allowed to be subdued. But when we stand up and fight for them, things will change. Most importantly, as I welcome this drama theme, I would like us to reinforce the fact that youths are change makers. We are champions and we are leading the table. And I'm happy to be before you to present and welcome the drama team. I pledge to end female genital mutilation. because female genital mutilation is depression. It is death. And trust me, it is destroying a lot of women. A lot of marriages are broken because of female genital mutilation. For this fact, I would like each and every one of us to really put the workings to action. Thank you very much, and I welcome the drama team. Thank you so much.
I'm happy. I know. Are you Yes, Papa.
Wale.
Yes, Papa.
Did you see what I just saw?
My eyes paining me. I saw it. I saw the way these fine ladies were just dancing and shaking their waist like.
Wale, did you see that one at the left hand?
My friend, these your eyes, they are faster than your shadow. My friend, there's something I need to discuss with you. Because as this girl said, was dancing, something just entered my head.
What? It's what?
We need to circumcise our daughters.
Wale.
Yes.
So you're thinking where
thank God.
Thought of this before now.
Thank God you know I'm saying the right thing.
because I won't want my daughter to go from one man to another, from one place to another without control. And you know that is what we call waywardness.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Baby.
Bring to the, and I don't want unwanted pregnancy.
At all.
As I'm talking to you like this, the woman that is going to circumcise my daughter, she's on her way to my house.
Wale,
Yes.
are you serious?
Yes.
Biko, please. Wait, don't.
Yes.
Tell her to come and meet. So I can circumcise her.
Why are you sounding as if we met today? Don't
Ale.
worry. What are friends for?
Ale.
I will do just that.
Thank
I
you.
need to be going. You know, they say time is money. So I
Is
don't want to be late.
Thank you.
We will see again.
Wale.
Papa Nkechi, Papa Nkechi.
Mama Yura.
I am fine, yo. See, you see, when I was just discussing back there, I heard what you and your friend were saying. Yes. You see, that circumcision of a thing is the best, though. Do you know that my mother did it? Even I, she did it for me, and my children. I've done it for them. It is very good. It keeps them in check. And in fact, I have this good nurse, professional. She can do it very well. Seriously, just in case you don't know, you don't have any. But
It was what I was discussing with
wow, seriously.
but he has someone that he called.
Oh, okay. Now,
Stand.
I was just saying, hey, how's your baby now?
Very fine.
We're sick. Come, let's go.
Yes, yes.
Hey, your wife safe. I did not see her now.
No, come on. It's because she was taking care of the baby.
Okay.
So, you know all these women.
Yes.
So, yes.
Okay. Thank you. This guy's not here yet.
Body. Mama Echi. Where are you now? Fine. When the are dancing and dancing, you.
You know this baby is still very small. That's why I could not make it.
I know. Yes.
I was the best dancer.
Yeah, so I married you. Come. Wait. Body. Sit down. That my friend. My Yoruba friend.
Mr. Wale.
Wale.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I was there.
He was there now.
Imagine a Yoruba man in that kind of festival. He must have enjoyed himself. Mm-hmm.
After the festival,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, all the men, even the women, we gathered and we came to the conclusion that we must circumcise our daughter.
Hey, Nai. I thought we have gone past this.
We have talked about this now.
We've talked about, but you know my stand on this. Nai, I will not.
Mama, if you are which one is your not support? We have talked about this one.
Nai, have you forgotten so soon?
What happened?
Nai, please. Have you forgotten what happened to Ifeanyi, our daughter? It's this same circumcision that killed her. Have you forgotten how she bleed to death? Oh, God. Nai, please, don't do this, please.
See, you know, that girl was not meant to be with us. She's an Obanje.
My child, an Obanje. Oh, Nai, why are you talking like this?
She was not meant to stay.
It's only you that did not see through that child.
Oh, it is you that didn't see.
As a mother, I felt her pains. I saw the shock in her that day. I could not do anything. I could not say anything.
And I warned you.
Akechi, tell me any woman or any girl that have died after that.
A lot of them have died now. A lot of them have died. Is it because you've not heard about it or you have not seen? I'm talking about the pains our mother went through. My sister. Why am I even going too far? Leno. What of me?
What are you talking about?
Do you think I enjoy any each time we go to the other room?
You go why now?
Now you know what I'm talking about. Leave me alone.
Don't allow the world to hear what you just said.
Let them hear. Let them hear. And I've said it. And that's truth.
Cheru, wait. So, you're telling me that
Don't bring.
the 2 hours that we spent in the room.
Hey, God. 2 hours. Listen to him. 2 hours. 2 hours of what? Ekwa? 2 hours of frustration?
More.
Or is it 2 hours of... Please, let me don't go there. Nai, I don't care. I don't even know what you want to do. But I'm not in support of it. And I'd rather die. Yes.
It's again.
I'd rather die than to allow you.
Hey, Aro. Mama, come back here.
If you know what is good for you, you better.
We must do it, oh. Come back here. Mama Kechi, we must second. They will go wayward. I'm telling you this thing now. Mama Kechi.
Yes, mommy. Must I shout every time I call you? Sorry, ma. Go inside and get my purse. Okay, ma.
Is anybody in this house? How are you? I'm seeing it. Hey, Boomy. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
That is good to know. That is good.
Go inside and get your father water to drink.
Please do. I'm very thirsty. My Yahoo. My Yahoo. My wife. My lovely wife. You missed. I wish you were there to see the way all the girls was just dancing and shaking their waist with no control. My Yahoo. No need to get upset. I was only complimenting them. You know, nobody can take your love away. I'm for you and you are for me. My Yahoo, as I was watching those girls dance, what we discussed just entered my head, my Yahoo. We need to circumcise our daughter. My Yahoo. During the festival, after all the merriment of the festival, all the men and women, we sat down and agreed that we are going to circumcise our daughters.
You will go back home, you will gather them, and you will tell them I have said no.
My Yahoo.
Yes.
Every time your body will be all tight. You get out of this place. Come here.
Why are
Show me
you
that water
shouting
here.
at her now?
See your daughter. Every time your body will be hot like fire. Okay, let me tell you. My Yahoo, we need to circumcise our daughter. Because if we do not circumcise our daughter, we'll be going from one man to another, from another. I know now. You should be wayward. Do you want a wayward child?
No.
And not only that, when she gets married, she will not stay in her husband's house. That's the worst. Because she will going from one man to another, from one man to... She will be promiscuous.
Call me. Are you trying to say every every woman in this community have been circumcised.
Don't you know? My father circumcised my sister, and that's why me, as a father, will circumcise my daughter. Yes.
Sometimes it's like you.
What
you
I
try to
am
use
saying
my
is the truth, and you know, it's the betterment of our family. I'm doing the right thing, Daddy. Just believe me. Let us just do this thing in peace.
I still don't agree.
Don't argue with me, my wife. Don't argue with me. I'm saying.
Who is this one now?
Mama, thank you. Hey, Mama, welcome. Welcome. Mama, you can come inside and sit.
Who is this, my husband?
This is the woman that wants to circumcise our daughter.
So you even brought someone without telling me.
She's even late.
It will not happen. It will not happen. I've told you. Look at the knife.
Why are you? Hey.
Who is that again now?
Hello, Wanle.
Auntie Dayo. Welcome. Help me,
Brother.
How are you, my
I'm
sister?
fine. Please, who is this woman?
Thank God you are here. You help me talk some sense to my wife,
About
because
what?
this is the woman that wants to circumcise my daughter.
God forbid.
Thank you.
What
Circumcise.
brother me?
Yes.
Circumcision in this age and time.
Ask him,
Those are
Ask
the
him.
olden days now, brother.
Okay.
Don't you know that circumcision has health implications?
How do you know?
Haba, brother, it's all over the internet now. Okay, let me tell you. Do you know that circumcision can lead to VVF?
VVF?
Yes, now.
Visco
Vaginal
vis-
fistula.
Oh,
You know it.
I know.
Also, circumcision
Yes.
can lead to infertility.
Uh-huh.
It can, okay, let us assume now that we agree and they circumcise Fumi.
Yes.
If the bleeding cannot be stopped, do you know that it can lead to her death? But God
Follow
forbid,
my
Ọlọ́run ní
jẹ́.
jẹ́.
It will not happen.
Kódà.
No need to be afraid.
Eh.
This woman, she's the best. She's professional.
Hey, ó parí. Prophet Gini.
Yeah, professional. Yes.
Oh, God have mercy. Okay, brother, see your professional.
Uh-huh.
Look at that knife that she sharpening.
Yes.
Can you see how dirty and old looking it is? Eh? I am very, very sure that this knife has not been sterilized in ages. And now, assuming the girl she used it on the last time had infections, it will be transmitted to Fumi. Do you want that to happen, brother?
Wait a minute. Let me. Mama, well done, you. Well done, Mama. Mama, I say I should ask you. This your knife, you are just sharpening. You don't need to wash or sterilize it. It's
abomination.
Mama, so the girls will be hungry, you sterilize or you wash the knife. Oda. Mama, thank you. Mama, thank you. Mama, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Mama, you can now be going. Thank you for... Mama, what I mean is...
No, Mama.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Mama, kò sí.
We'll get back to you, Mama.
Kò sí, Nani kò sí, ẹ máa lọ.
Ó dàbọ̀.
Mama, don't worry, just be going. We'll get back to you.
Ó dàbọ̀, ma.
Just be going.
Who is there again?
My very good friend. You brought your wife. Please come in. My woman. How are you? Thank God you are here on time. This is the woman for the work. So you can go without your house. This is the, are you not the one that tell me you want to circumcise your daughter? Mm-hmm. Yes. More. Yes. Me, Wale. I don't know what I'm saying. Were you not the one that said you want to circumcise your daughter? Were you not here?
Were you not the one that brought it up in the first place?
You are calling me a liar. Do you know why they call me Wale?
It's okay. Brother, any suru. Papa Nkechi is okay. See, whether it was you that said it or Papa Nkechi that said this, we don't want to know. Thank God we have even agreed not to do this thing again, no? Because do you know that female genital mutilation is a criminal offense punishable by law? You could go to jail for 4 years or pay a very, very huge fine. But at this moment, what we are saying is that
that we are not doing it
Again.
Mama.
Mama is here.
Sahara Desert, they are calling you. Sahara Desert. Emma Law, Mama.
Thank you.
Egba, transport. Sahara Desert. Emma Law.
Mama, thank you for coming. Thank you. Hey, Mama, don't be going.
Mama, is now double. Brother.
Daddy, fool me. Daddy, fool me.
My Yahoo, I am sorry. If not for you and my beloved sister here, I don't know what will happen to my daughter. I am very sorry. You know I love you, and I love my daughter too.
I will love too.
Where is my daughter?
Fumi Layo. Fumi.
Yes, mommy.
Why is your face still like this now? There's no more circumcision.
Really?
Mommy.
Now you are happy.
He's very happy.
Leaders of tomorrow. You know you are my head. I don't play with you. I thank God for our wives and my loving sister here.
Yes,
if not for them, I don't know what will happen to my daughter. This evil act, God, it must stop.
It must stop.
Exactly.
Wale, my friend. Even if he's at the mosque, at the church, at the marketplace, let us join hands together and say no to female genital mutilation.
Everybody needs to put hands together. Yes. Young, old, small, and big. And join the movement for good to end female genital mutilation.
Why are we still standing? Let us go out and share the good news.
Let us share the good news.
Awade.
Are you seeing my daughter? She can dance.
I like the way she's dancing. Your waist cannot do it again. Allow your daughter to do it. Are you seeing?
It's okay. Don't look at my daughter like that. It's okay. Are you seeing my... What is going on here? She's going. Let's see. That is it. Okay. Show them you are the best. Show them you
number
are
one.
the best.
Hey.
That is it. In our dance. Show them you are the best.
Wow, 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 wow. What a performance. Can we put our hands together once again for the FCTA Unity Troop?
If you get chance, help me with the chair.
Back in those days, I used to be a theater performer. And one of the key messages you take away from watching a performance is that visuals stay with you for the rest of your life. Once you see it being performed, at every point in time, the message remains with you. On that note, I ask you to join me in welcoming into our midst Dr. Osagie Emmanuel Ehanire, the Honorable Federal Minister of Health. Honorable Minister, you're welcome. You have been a key supporter of this initiative. And we are happy that despite the challenges and the commitments, you finally made it and you're here with us. You're welcome. And your arrival couldn't have been better timed because very soon we'll go into the formal unveiling of the movement for good to end FGM in Nigeria. That's the blue ribbon logo. Let me give you a few minutes to take a deep breath, have a sip of water before we invite you, the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, and all the dignitaries who will then join in the actual unveiling of the movement for good to end FGM in Nigeria. In the course of the drama, you will see how emotions will sway from joyous moments to almost very sad moments. But the good thing is that at the end of the day, it ended in a celebratory mood for everyone. And that is what we hope will happen in all our communities. And may I also let the royal fathers know that community theater in the village squares can also be used as means of sensitization to pass on this message in our respective communities. Thank you very much. And we hope that will happen when you get back. May I then invite Princess? May I then invite for the unveiling of the movement for good. But before then, the Honorable Minister of Health has had a deep breath and is now in a mood to talk to us. Join me in welcoming to the podium the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Osagie Emmanuel Ehanire, to please talk to us.
It's a good afternoon, everybody, and my apology for the delay. We had tried to negotiate a time of 12:30 because of engagements that I had with visitors from outside the country, which compelled me to stay and attend to them because they also have a limited time in Nigeria. And I want to, first of all, appreciate Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, my partner in the ministry, in the government, closest partner we have in the health sector, distinguished senator, and royal fathers here present. I also recognize the directors, permanent secretaries, and development partners who are here and who have been great supporters of the activities of the health sector and also social sector. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and honor to address you at this occasion of the launch of the Movement for Good to end female genital mutilation in Nigeria. The practice of genital mutilation is unfortunately still not only practiced but defended in some communities and continues to generate controversy due to the perception by some community leaders of this practice as a cultural issue and of the opposition to it as a culture clash. In reality, female genital mutilation serves no useful purpose that has ever been identified in medicine or healthcare. On the other hand, it is laden with many serious health hazards and complications, some of them unfortunately irreversible. And along with those consequences are also a variety of social consequences. The theme for this year's meeting here is accelerating investment to end female genital mutilation. Invest and don't rest. This project targets over 8 million adolescent men and women, grandparents, traditional, political, community, and religious leaders. We do not leave out health workers, state functionaries, especially in 5 states of Ebonyi, Ekiti, Imo, Osun, and Oyo. The Movement for Good to end FGM in Nigeria calls upon us and stakeholders to step up investments to end this practice in Nigeria. If we stop or rest in our investment, we shall allow this practice to continue unabated. It is therefore a moral duty to increase material and financial support to eliminate this harmful practice. Female genital mutilation includes procedures that injure or attempt to remove external female genitalia, supposedly as a cultural practice or for cultural therapeutic reasons. In some communities, this practice is in fact erroneously seen as a family tradition that girls of a certain age before they are 15 years old have to experience. Data from the 2018 Nigeria Demographic and Health Survey indicates that 20% of Nigerian women between the ages of 15 and 49 have undergone this process, which is also erroneously called circumcision. This survey indicates that 8.6% of the mutilation was performed on women when they were aged 15 to 49 and 49 years of age, and 7% on children, girls aged 0 to 14 years, with some of them carried out, in fact, by trained medical personnel. The majority of female genital mutilations were, however, carried out by traditional practitioners, which of course predispose to increased risk to health and to lives. The 2021 UN Joint Program Situation Analysis showed the prevalence of female genital mutilation, happily enough, declining across all states due to the focused intervention over the past decade. It also reveals that the support for female genital mutilation by women, because some women actually do support and defend it, This survey also shows that the support given by women has been declining in Osun, Oyo, Ebonyi, Imo, which also indicates a development in weakening the practice. Female genital mutilation is proven to negatively impact reproductive health and the rights of women and girls, and can be rightly considered as a form of violence against them, infringing on their dignity and their human rights. Women and girls who experience female genital mutilation face health risks from immediate consequences of severe pain, infections, bleeding, and psychological trauma, up to consequences later in life, which can result in depression, suicidal tendency, ulcerations, urinary tract damage, and infections that include HIV, AIDS, and sexually transmitted infections. There are also chronic health conditions that can remain throughout life, including development of cysts, abscesses, and scar tissue formation. Women who suffer the procedure are also most likely to have life-threatening complications during childbirth, like prolonged labor and tear, if no professional assistance is present during delivery. Vesicovaginal fistula, rectovaginal fistula, or loss of life of young mothers and their babies, along with mental health disorders, are among other complications. We all need to create awareness that there are absolutely no health benefits from female genital mutilation. Nowhere in any of the major religions, whether it's Christianity or Islam, is female genital mutilation prescribed. I therefore call on all those who are perpetuating this practice under religious guise to re-examine their thoughts and desist from it. This initiative we have today at this forum is for sober reflection and deliberation, and it challenges all of us to commit to save women and girls from this terrible experience. I appreciate the efforts of the governments and people of 5 joint program states. These are Ekiti, Ebonyi, Imo, Osun, and Oyo, which I have mentioned, and also the first ladies of these states for their investments in ensuring the elimination of the practice in their states. And I call on all stakeholders and state governments to scale up the intervention on the elimination of this practice across board, especially in the hotspots of these states, Kano, Kaduna, Jigawa, and Zamfara. There is need to join this movement to end FGM in Nigeria, bearing in mind that no one ministry or organization can do it alone. This is a national call, and I thank you all for your attention.
Kings and queens, leaders of tomorrow.
Mr. We appreciate the Honorable Minister of Health for his commitment to ending FGM in Nigeria by joining this movement for good to end FGM. At this juncture, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to invite the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Talent, OFR KSG, to rise and proceed to where we're going to unveil the movement. She will be joined by the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Ehanire Osage Emmanuel, and also the representative of the Senate President, to be joined by the ambassadors and the traditional rulers to help us launch this movement for good to end FGM in Nigeria. Can we also have the heads of the UN agencies to help us in this regard? We have representing the UN, we have UNICEF, WHO, UN Women, UNFPA, all the UN agencies, please join them as we do this. We will not leave behind our he for she, the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Engineer Olufunsho Adebi, FNSA. Are all the traditional rulers there? Let's have them. Mr. Ibrahim Sise, can you help us in this?
My dear brother, the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Asage Onahire. Yes, okay. The Senate President, ably represented by my chair of the Women Committee, distinguished Senator Betty Apiafe, Your Excellencies, our traditional rulers, today we are gathered for another very, very important and monumental occasion that we want to drive the fight against female genital mutilation to every doorstep, particularly the states mentioned in the South. It is therefore my singular honor and privilege that as we all join hands to bring an end to this movement for good against FGM, we will live here as great ambassadors against FGM. I will invite the Honorable Minister of Health, our traditional rulers, our ambassadors, the Permanent Secretary, to all stretch your hands as we cut the blue ribbon. To the glory of God and to our struggle to end FGM in Nigeria. God help us.
Thank you so much. This is collaboration at its best. Can we appreciate the honorable ministers and all the distinguished men and women who joined in ending FGM in Nigeria. Children will be children. Hello, children. Thank you. Can you go to your seats so that we'll continue? Thank you.
Thank you very much. The formal unveiling of the blue ribbon has just happened, and that's the high point of today's event, signaling the formal launch of the movement for good to end FGM in Nigeria. The next item we're going into would be the special messages on the elimination of FGM. But before then, we'll also want to have the pledge session and the distribution of the movement for good ribbons.
Please, can we have the Honorable Ministers, Honorable Minister of Women Affairs and Honorable Minister of Health to help us in this pledge session and distribution of the Movement for Good Blue Ribbon lapels. We'll also have the ambassadors and the heads of UN agencies come here to support them and the traditional rulers. The Honorable Minister of Women Affairs and the Honorable Minister of Health and the representative of the Senate President, as well as the heads of UN agencies, the ambassadors, and the traditional rulers who are here. The session is the pledge session and distribution of the Movement for Good Blue Ribbon lapels.
Every boy, every girl deserves a future that is bright. But when we fold our hands, who is gonna shine the light? There is no better time for you and me to take a stand. So give love and bring hope to the future in your hand, yeah.
This is the high point of the session. We are today with the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, supported by the Honorable Minister of Health, from the National Assembly, the highest body, the Senate, represented here by the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Women Affairs.
I am the new
National
generation.
Council for
I am
Women's
a light that
Society is
cannot be
also
snuffed,
here.
a dream
Our
that cannot
traditional
be stopped.
rulers,
I
heads
can
of
be the
UN
best.
agencies,
I have no other home
the
besides this piece of
ambassadors
land to call
are
my
also
own.
here
I
to
am a
support
Nigerian
us,
child.
to say we pledge to end FGM in Nigeria. Thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Please, a round of applause for them. At this juncture, we'll take the votes of thanks, and then we will sit back and look at the social advocacy messages on the elimination of FGM in Nigeria. And to do that, we have Mrs. Gertrude Oji, Director, Child Department, Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, to do the vote of thanks. Madam, please, we're waiting. While that is going on, can you cue the social advocacy messages on the elimination of FGM in Nigeria? We'll end this program in the next few minutes. Thank you so much.
It is my honor and privilege to deliver this vote of thanks this afternoon. But with due apologies, please permit me to do this strictly without following due protocols. Charity, they say, begin at home. And so, in a special way, I want to sincerely appreciate our mother, the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Your Excellency, Dame Pauline K. Talen, OFR, KSJ, for this great initiative and for your frantic efforts in ensuring that female genital mutilation is put to an end in Nigeria. Ma, your constant advocacy on the protection of women and children and their inclusiveness in all facets of national life is highly commendable. We appreciate you, ma. Let me, on behalf of the Ministry of Women Affairs, appreciate the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ejinari, who is the co-chair of this event, for sharing your thoughts with the Honorable Women of Women Affairs on the need to end this harmful practice, which invariably will bring about quality health care for women and children. God bless you, sir. I also want to extend our sincere regards to our esteemed legislator, Senator Betty Apiafi, representing the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ma, we appreciate your presence. Members of the diplomatic corps, our development partners, donor agencies, with special mention of UNICEF, who is the sponsor of today's event, we thank you for your generous support and constant collaboration. Our royal fathers, spiritual and temporal, we are blessed with your presence, and we deeply appreciate you for leaving your domain to honor this invitation. Your presence this morning shows that you are committed to this cause, and we have no doubt in our minds that you will follow up the elimination of these harmful practices. Representatives of the Honorable Commissioners of Women Affairs from Oyo, Ebonyi, Imo, and Ekiti states, we appreciate your presence. Let me at this point, for want of time, appreciate other dignitaries and invited guests, including Civil Society Organization of Nigeria, NGOs, women rights and youth organizations, delegates, our future leaders of tomorrow, our beautiful young girls, the police band, the cultural troops, the poets, the drama group. Thank you so much for your beautiful performances, which was quite thrilling and informative. Gentlemen of the press, we have not forgotten you. We are grateful for your usual coverage and hope that you will give today's event the widest publicity that it deserves. The last but certainly not the least, our amiable Permanent Secretary, Engineer Peter Olufunsho Adebi, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the Chief Coordinator and Chairman, National Technical Committee of this event. We appreciate you, sir, and your dedicated staff, having worked tirelessly behind the scene to ensure that today's event is successful. Finally, let me apologize to all those I'm unable to specifically appreciate, either as individual or as group. This is in no way intended to undermine your presence. We entirely appreciate everyone gathered in this hall this morning and all those who, in one way or the other, contributed to the success of today's program. Thank you all for coming and journey Mercy back to your various destinations.
Can we put our hands together for Mrs. Gertrude Orji for that vote of thanks? She has thanked us, so we can thank her by clapping to appreciate what she has done.
Can we have some music? We've done well with the timing. We're supposed to close by 2 p.m. If you look at your time, we're just 12:59 p.m. So in another few minutes, we'll be shutting down this program. Announcement: if you've lost your wristwatch, please step forward and collect it.
Iba, elenda mi motiyamo, elenda mi motiyamo. Bí o gbọ́dọ̀ jábọ́, mo wá dúpẹ́ oore yànnà. Bàbá mo dúpẹ́, mo tún dúpẹ́ oore òní. Bàbá mo dúpẹ́, mo tún dúpẹ́ oore ọ̀la. Bàbá mo dúpẹ́, bàbá mo dúpẹ́. Bamba mo dúpẹ́, Bamba mo dúpẹ́, Bamba mo dúpẹ́. Tí mo máa jí lọ́wọ́ kùtùkùtù, àndọ̀rẹ́ mi mọ́. Mo ṣoríire o, ẹlẹ́dàá mi mo dúpẹ́ o. Tí mo máa jí lọ́wọ́ kùtùkùtù, àndọ̀rẹ́ mi mọ́ láyé tí mo wá. Mo ṣoríire o, ẹlẹ́dàá mi mo dúpẹ́ o. Ọlọ́run àgbáyé, Ọlọ́run àgbáyé, ìwọ nìkan ní ìgbì gbẹ̀ngẹ̀ lórí. Bàbá 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 Olúwa, tọmọdé ń bá dúpẹ́ oore àná láyé. A ní òbí rọgbà, kò sẹ́ni tó lè ṣe láyé bí kì í ṣe wọ́n.
That lunch will be served on your seat. We have packed lunch. So please just sit down, just like they served you breakfast in the morning. We're still going to serve lunch that way. So be on your seat and they'll bring your lunch packs to you. Thank you.
Omi ohun tó bá ń dára máa fọ́mọ mi. Ohun tó bá dára máa fọ́mọ mi. Ohun tó bá dára máa fọ́mọ mi. Nàìjíríà. Ohun tó bá dára máa fọ́mọ mi. Tí n bá ló ń gún ẹrú, ìrọ̀wọ́ fà wọ́n bọ̀. Tí n bá ló ń gún ẹrú, ìrọ̀wọ́ fà wọ́n bọ̀. Ọjọ́ tí a bá kú o, ọmọ láyọ̀ lé. Bàbá lókè jẹ́ kọ́ mọ́ mi wọlé tèmi nítorí ọmọ láṣọ láyé, ọmọ láṣọ, ọmọ láṣọ láyé, ọmọ láṣọ, ọmọ láṣọ láyé, ọmọ láṣọ, ọmọ láṣọ láyé, ọmọ láṣọ. Ohun tó bá dára máa fún mọ́ mi. 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 Ẹ̀kọ́ tó bá dára ni máa fi fọ́mọ mi. Àyè tó bá dára ni máa fi fọ́mọ mi. Bàtà tó bá dára máa fọ́mọ mi. Ẹ̀wù tó bá dára ni máa fọ́mọ mi. Tí máa lọ gún ẹrú, ìràwọ̀ fáwọn kan. Tí máa lọ gún ẹrú, ẹsẹ̀ ìràwọ̀ fáwọn kan. ọjọ́ tí a bá kú ọmọ láyọ̀ mi ọmọ lókè jẹ́ kọ́mọ mi wọlé tèmi nítorí ọmọ láṣọ láyé ọmọ láṣọ ọmọ láṣọ láyé ọmọ láṣọ ọmọ láṣọ láyé ọmọ láṣọ ọmọ láṣọ láyé ọmọ láṣọ. Essie. Ohun tó bá dára, mara fọ́mọ mi. 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 Tí n bá lọ gún ẹrú, tí n bá wọn fa ọmọ. Ìbálòpọ̀ ẹ̀rọ síbí ìrànwọ́ fa ọmọ. Kọmíṣánná ọjọ́ tí a bá kú ọmọ láyọ̀ lé. Bàbá lókè jẹ́ kọ́mọ mi wọlé débi. Nítorí ọmọ láṣọ láyé ọmọ láṣọ ọmọ láṣọ láyé ọmọ láṣọ.
Thank you. Thank you very much, the police band. Very versatile. You go to High Life, they are there. All brands of music, you can get it from the police band. Thank you very much. At this point, we would like to deliver some advocacy messages on the elimination of FGM in Nigeria. I hope the videos are ready, but while we are doing that, they are bringing in the food to serve for lunch. Stay on your seats. There's enough to go around to everyone. Just stay on your seats and you'll be served your packed lunch, so that we do that in a very orderly manner. Let me once again restate that for those who are here from Ebonyi, Imo, Osun, Oyo, and Ekiti states, please ensure that your tickets, your flight tickets, your boarding passes are made available to the Secretariat outside the hall. It's very important and it's necessary for your reimbursements to take place. Otherwise, we cannot guarantee that you will be reimbursed if you don't meet the people at the Secretariat out there. Before the video rolls, part of what we are doing today is to pledge support for the elimination of FGM in Nigeria. Can I ask everybody to bring out your phone sets now? Can you bring out your telephone sets now? Your mobile phones. And all you need to do is text pledge to 24663. It's free of charge. It's entirely free. It's just to mobilize the movement for good. So just text on your phone, type pledge and text to 24663. The information is on the screen. The number to text is on the screen. So just text pledge to 24453. 24453. Text pledge to 24453. It's free of charge. While we're having our lunch, let's roll the video so that after the video, the police band will continue to do what they are well known for. And maybe we might be allowed to make special requests. So let's have the video. Once again, text pledge to 24453. That's the number to text your pledge to.
Culture is dynamic, but I stand against all harmful traditional practices. Let us save our girls and women from female genital mutilation. Throw away blades and instruments of cutting. Female genital mutilation has no known benefits. Every girl has a right to live a healthy life. Stop cutting the girl child. I am Kabamza Sukwo, and I act to end female genital mutilation. What about you?
My culture is dynamic, but I stand against all harmful traditional practices. Let us save our girls and women from FGM. Throw away blades and instruments of cutting. Female genital mutilation has no known benefits. Every girl has a right to live a healthy life. Stop cutting the girl child. I am Kate Henshaw, and I act to end FGM. What about you? Join this movement for good today.
Can we have all the children in the hall stand up to dance to this? All the children in the hall, just stand up and start dancing to your music. This was done specially to recognize the Nigerian child on the occasion of the 30th anniversary on the Convention of the Rights of the Child. We are the Nigerian children. Great Nigerian children. Great Nigerian children. Can you stand up? Wave your hands. Okay, stand. All Nigerian children in the hall. Let's go. Get up on your seats. Let's do this together. Come this way, those of you there. Come. Nigerian children, come this way. Let's do this together.
A dream that cannot be stopped. I can be the best. I have no other home besides this piece of land to call my own. I am a Nigerian child.
If I get chance, children stay and celebrate them every day. Give your right today, maybe we don't rob them of your tomorrow. Who's my for their face, maybe we don't let them to live in sorrow.
All the adults in the hall, can you rise and let us do this for Nigerian children? You were once children, and you still remain children because you have fathers and mothers. Let's be on our feet, everybody.
Important, no matter who you are, with a little love and the chance, you too can be a star, yes.
Can we all be on our feet as we observe the national anthem to signify the end of this program. Let's appreciate ourselves. Can we clap for ourselves? Everybody clap for yourself for being a good audience. My name is Princess Jumai Idonije, and my colleague here.
Godwin Chinedodo is my name. And on that note, we are bringing this event, the launch of the Movement for Good, to a formal close. And I leave you with this message. Now the die is cast, the stage is set, the issues are defined, the choice is ours to end female genital mutilation in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
National Anthem Police Band. Hold on, the national anthem is on.
what's important, no matter who you are. With a little love and a chance, you too can be a star, yes.